In a devastating new ruling, the Supreme Court upheld the Trump administration rule that significantly cuts back on the Affordable Care Act's birth control mandate. So now that mandate, of course, said that insurers would have to provide free birth control coverage as part of almost all of their healthcare plans. There were specific exceptions, of course, for churches, synagogues. They're automatically exempted. However, nonprofits like religious affiliated universities, charities, and hospitals were not automatically exempt, although they could do a waiver, right? So now the administration, the Obama administration, said you could opt out if you do a waiver, but that wasn't enough for these guys, right? So they said, no, we don't want to have to file for a waiver. We just want to be automatically exempt because, our religious liberty or something like that. They believe that signing an opt-out form or notifying their plan administrator was the same as authorizing the use of their plan for birth control. And so they didn't want that. They wanted to, and they got their way. Now they can say to their insurer that their employees cannot get birth control through us. We say no. Under this ruling, companies are shielded by abiding by the Affordable Care Act provision, which requires employers to cover preventative care for employees, including contraceptive care. So there's that. In the opinion for the majority of the court, this was a 7-2 decision with, of course, the only two female justices, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor, dissenting, saying, and this is, by the way, Clarence Thomas running the majority opinion, saying that the Trump administration had statutory authority to craft an exemption, as well as the contemporaneously issued moral exception, saying that, hey, look, religious institutions, if you are morally against your employee getting birth control, then good news, you can go ahead and enforce that and not provide that contraceptive coverage. So this is an example of your company, your boss, getting between you and your doctor, essentially. Your boss now literally has control of your ability to get contraceptive care as part of the insurance that you are paying for. And so that's important, right? You pay a premium every month. Shouldn't you get contraceptive care if you want it? It's your money. It's supposed to be your insurance plan. But, of course, there's the argument of, well, hey, look, your employer pays part of that insurance too. And so they don't want their money going to coverage that they don't morally agree with. But that's the thing. That insurance coverage that they are paying for, right? Because, a lot of employers pay a part or sometimes all of their insurance premium for their employees. But guess what? That is part of your compensation for work. So you work for a company, and part of that compensation is them providing health insurance for you that you will pay some or part of or most of, and then, in premiums. So what right does your boss have to take away your compensation, right, from you because they have a moral exemption, right? Because they don't feel morally comfortable. It's supposed to be your benefit for working for them. It's bullshit. Bullshit. So this is, by the way, why I say that everybody who's laboring under the idea that we should fix the Affordable Care Act, that it's salvageable, is just completely wrong. We should not fix the ACA. No, we need to go to a single-payer healthcare system. Only single-payer works. You can bypass, with single-payer, you bypass your employee or employer and his or her moral objections. And you get the care that you need. And you don't get your boss invading your life because you get it covered. And by the way, what about the government invading in your life? Oh, guess what? You can vote for people who will not get in your life and use their health care to control your decisions. Whereas you can't exactly vote for your boss. Look, I don't even buy the argument, though, that they made that the mandate was a violation of their religious rights. Can you point to one example of Jesus pointing towards, talking about birth control? What about abortion? Turns out if you read the Bible, God is pro-abortion. They even tell you how to mix up a drink to make a woman miscarry if in the event that you think that she's been unfaithful. That said, why should your boss be making the decisions on what kind of medications that you take? And that's what it is, too. Contraception is a medication. It's not only used for preventing pregnancy, but also treating other issues like endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and even if it didn't, who the hell cares? Your boss should not be making that decision for you based on their morality. It makes absolutely no sense unless the entire purpose is to control women and to control choices that these women make based on what you think is right. BS. No, we need to fix this. And the only way to actually fix it is to go to a Medicare for all system. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.